Welcome back to yet another episode of Kicking It with the Captain. I am Captain Goofy Hunter, and this is episode 4. We're going to be reviewing episode 3 of Golden Time. So where we last left off, Kaga and Banri were asked to meet this mystery woman at a certain location to where they would be going for the weekend to our welcoming party for the club, of which we don't know the name, we don't know her name, we don't know what it's really about. They only gave us some vague information. So first Banri shows up, and then Kaga shows up. Now while they're talking and walking up to the group, because it's a group of people, they notice a familiar person. 2D. 2D is there. And if you guys remember 2D from the previous episode, him and Banri met at the tea club party where they had to sumo wrestle each other. So yeah, but the funny thing about 2D, whose name is actually Takuya, he is very nervous around girls, particularly Kaga, because apparently they have a civil law class together, and he is being very weird. Now while they're sitting there introducing each other and talking, two big ass van style SUVs show up. Well, actually no, two big ass vans show up, like maybe just a little bit bigger than a Honda Odyssey, and the mystery woman pops out, as well as other people. Here's the thing. They're all wearing gray tracksuits. All matching. The exact same one. And then they have this star snowflake looking pendant with a fucking silver, not a silver, a blue sapphire crystal in the middle. They're all wearing that same shit. And they pull out these fucking forms and hand them to everybody and tell them, hey, go ahead and fill this out with your name, date of birth, address, and phone number. And tell them, like, well, you can fill it in the car because we got a long way to go. Now, one of the weird things, I'm like, yeah, my cult meter is going the fuck off right now. Because tracksuits and matching tracksuits and pendants and shit, everybody, the men and women. And then one weird thing they do is while they're inside the car, every non-member is surrounded by a member. So no two non-members are sitting together. It is non-member, member, non-member, member, non-member, member. And another weird thing is while he's filling it out, this bitch is like over his shoulder looking at like his form, and it's weird as hell. She tells him, like, let me know if you want to drink, because we're not making any stops. And then as they continue on the highway, Banri notices the sign for the seminar hall where they were supposed to go. They just went right past it. My kidnapping senses are tangling right now, because a few moments later they turn off the main highway and start going down a dirt road. And then not too long later, they pull into a compound, a secluded compound that is also gated. And at that compound, you see a big ass crystal pendant, same as the one they wear. And then they all get into the fucking, like, inside the building. They realize that they don't have cell service at all. They're in a secluded spot, no cell service, gated fucking compound. And come to find out that they're in a training facility for a religious group that no one's ever heard of. Cult. And indicative of a cult, they take their belongings, put it in a closet, and lock the door, keeping the key with them. They have their shoes because, well, in Japan, when you go inside, you have to take your shoes off and you wear these house slippers. And they are then taken into an auditorium where for 5 hours they watch videos and get lectures about the universe and their part in it and some fucking miracle growth thing for 10 years in the future. Some gibberish bullshit that's supposed to brainwash you, basically. That's what it sounded like to me, and that's exactly what the hell it looked like. Fast forward to dinner, and once again, no non-member is sitting next to another non-member. So no student of the university is sitting next to another student. It is a member for every other fucking possible recruit, keeping them from being able to talk to each other. And of course they say like, yeah, you should party and be happy, and these motherfuckers are drinking. And Bonri has now realized he fucked up. And his only desire now is to get Kaga safely home. And he's trying to figure out a way to do this. And as he's trying to figure a way out, 2D stands up, is pissed, tells him, I'm not taking this anymore. You lied to us. You guys said that you were a university club, and you're basically holding us hostage, keeping our, stuff locked up. And then another kid stands up and is like, yeah, and you need to let us out because we're done with this. And another kid stands up and said, yeah, we'll sue you. And no expression on their face, no look of concern on the cultists. They're just sitting there like, yeah, everyone says that when they get here, but you guys will soon learn. And then another one chimes in saying, after you spend all day tomorrow talking with us, you'll discover that your awakening is the best thing for you. And at that moment, Bonri gets an idea. And his plan is simply to sell himself as a sacrificial lamb, trying to find a way to convince them to let everyone go and keep him because he's interested in becoming a believer, and he wants to ascend to his grand awakening. So he stands up and says, y'all need to shut the hell up. You're ruining this for the people who actually want to achieve their awakening. And then he goes into this whole sob story, which is true, by the way, of how a year ago he got into an accident, lost his memories, doesn't remember his past, and all he wants is to start a new life with some new friends, and he believes that he can find that here. And that why not, and why waste your time? He's talking to the leader, like, why waste your time trying to get these people to believe when you have someone who actually wants to do this? And then the mystery woman, the one that got them to go there in the first place, stood up and said, yeah, why don't we stop wasting our time with the non-believers and send them home and get to know this guy? And he agrees. So they take them to go get their belongings, bring the damn vans around. Everybody's out front getting ready to leave. And of course, 2D says, like, come with us. And Bonri is sticking to his little ruse, like, no, I'm going to stay and become a believer. I really think that this will be good for me. And he thanks fucking Kaga for pretty much putting him in an opportunity to find these kinds of people. And then they leave, they close the door, and they're like, all right, come back, to the banquet hall so we can get to know you better. And just before he leaves, the doors open again. And who walks through the fucking doors? Fucking Kaga. Playing along just like him, saying like after thinking about the lecture, I realized and I realized that I'm not that popular and it's annoying, so I'm ready to just cast off this shell of a life and look forward to the new fucking future or whatever the hell it is. And, you know, they're like, oh, cool. And they get them back to the fucking hall, and they're like, yeah, we actually met our quota. And they're over talking about, yeah, we'll look good in the eyes of the district manager. Like, I'm just sitting there like, damn, you motherfuckers are a bunch of assholes. And now they're sitting there together. This is the first time that they got to sit together since they got there. And Boundary's ass is sitting there like, why the fuck did you come back? Like, the whole reason I did this shit is to get you home. And she's just sitting there like, I knew that was why. I couldn't in good conscience leave knowing you were still here. And while they're discussing, of course, they look over like, hey, why are you guys sitting there in the back? You should come over here and we'll tell you more stories and get to know each other a little bit better. And they're all sauced, except the mystery fucking woman. And Boundary decides, well, yeah, but first things first, we need to put up our luggage, so can we have the key? And this drunk dumbass tosses them key, like, yeah, sure. Tosses it to them, they get ready to walk to the hallway, they're like, yeah, we'll be right back. And they're almost home free until Mr. Woman's like, yeah, I'll walk you, if you guys don't mind. And they're both like, fuck. Take off running. Run down the hall, get the key ready, open it, open the door, lock it behind them. It's the room that has the goddamn forms. The reason why he was so reluctant to escape is because he knew that they had his contact information so they could always find him. So going into the room that had the forms was a lucky fucking struck. He took not only their forms, he took everyone, all of those kids. That is a hero move. Because, dude, you could have just took yours, left it there, and called it a fucking day. But instead, you wanted to protect not only yourselves, but you wanted to protect everyone else. Took all those goddamn forms. More power to you, buddy. I fucking love it. They hop out the window. And now they're running. Mind you, they don't have shoes. They still got them house fucking slippers on. Running through the wilderness. Not knowing where the fuck they are. Hoping that they can get to the seminar hall. And for a while, they keep running and running and running. Eventually, they lose the cultists. And they take a break and they sit down. At this point, Boundary is apologizing, saying that this is his fault if he hadn't encouraged her to do all new stuff and get involved in clubs, and this never would have happened. And then Kaga comes clean. She comes clean, tells him that no, it's actually my fault. I thought that if I became your friend on this trip, that you would open up more and tell me what I wanted to know about Mitsuo, and that this whole ploy, including the whole diatribe about no one coming up to her and no one talking to her, no clubs approaching her, even though it was true, she didn't really mind it because the only thing she cared about was Mitsuo. And she didn't give a damn about clubs unless it was a club that he was a part of and she wanted to be a part of that club. And she just wanted to use that sob story to get sympathy from him so that way he would give her information. Just manipulative like a motherfucker. And I actually thought she was genuine when she was worried about the fact that nobody really comes up to her and talks to her, but she don't give a fuck. That's fine. No fucks given. Cool. But to use that to manipulate someone and then become their friend under false pretenses because you want to get more information out of them, that's some dirty shit. I would have left your ass in the fucking woods. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have done that. I would have stopped talking to you once everybody got home safely. But instead, and she comes to this not come to Jesus moment, not even an epiphany, because in all honesty, I don't even think it was an epiphany. She knows. She knows that the things that she does pisses Mitsuo off, makes him hate her. She admitted it. And one of the other fucking things that she did was tell us that she knew that when he promised that they were going to go to the same college, that he was lying, and that she secretly enrolled in the college that he was going to. She was under the assumption that he would respect her boldness and come to reciprocate the love that she shows him, despite the fact that he has given her every reason to doubt that theory. And her initial reaction to him going to another school and her finding him, she initially, with those roses, wanted to congratulate him on becoming a college student. But she was so frustrated and angry, and that was 4 months of pent-up rage, her words, that she lost it, and that apparently she cannot think clearly when it comes to him. That's some shit you need to go to a therapist for, sweetheart. Because if you continuously keep doing the same fucking shit, the same shit that pisses him off, and you know it pisses him off, and you do not care because we've seen the fact that you don't care, you keep doing it over and over and over again, that's an insanity wheel, honey. You're doing the same shit over and over and over again, hoping for a different result, and it's not going to fucking happen. And then Bonri tells her about his past and how, when he had his accident, he forgot everything. He spent a year in the hospital trying to rehab, and then he didn't let anybody from his past, any of his friends from high school, come see him in the hospital because he was afraid that they wouldn't want to get to know the new him, and that they were expecting the old him to return, and that they would have no need for the new him, which I get it. It's kind of stupid. If they were truly your friends, they would want you. They would just want you to be safe and healthy. They wouldn't want you to have to worry about shit like that, and you shouldn't worry about shit like that, to be honest. But it happens. It's going to happen, unfortunately. And you feeling that way, like that just hinders yourself. And Kaga asks him the question that if he even would want to remember his past. And he came to the conclusion that he would, as long as he gets to hold on to who he is now, because that's all he knows. He doesn't know anything about his past life. Like he may get a feeling, that a sense of nostalgia that seems familiar to him, but these are his words, not word for word, but these are his words. And every time he tries to chase those feelings, it goes away instantly. So he would hope that he could take those memories and make them a part of who he is now. But if he has to lose who he is, the new him, then he wouldn't want to remember his past. And that's something I can respect, especially considering the fact that your entire identity, your entire personality just started a year ago. You don't know anything about your past. And regardless of if someone can tell you, you won't have that same emotional connection. Doesn't matter how many stories they tell you, it just won't. Like, it's kind of like when people have an inside joke. And like you always tell them, like, yeah, you just had to be there. And they're like, well, tell me like how it came about. And then you tell them, and nothing clicks emotionally because you had to be there. So the significance of the inside joke only fits the people that were there. Anyone who comes in afterwards, it's lost on you. Like, some people may get it, but other people won't. They just won't, and they won't see the humor in it. And really, it's not just the humor; it's the experience shared. That is what it is about an inside joke, and that is what it is to connect to experiences that we have shared with other people. But if you have no recollection of it and someone tries to retell it to you, it's like you're reading a book. It's like you're reading about an autobiography for someone else who just so happens to have your same name. That's what it is. So I can understand why he would not want to lose who he is now and just add those experiences, because then he gets all of the emotions back. He gets the nostalgia. He can still remember it, but he can still, in his core, keep who he is. And as they continue to talk and get deeper into the conversation, it is very clear that a friendship, though under false pretenses, was starting to form. And though they do not really know it, or at least on Kaga's end, she kind of doesn't really see it yet, they are laying a foundation for becoming best friends. They really are. And it is through experiences like this. Like, they just escaped a cult. This man tried to sacrifice himself for you to get away. You said, nah, we're doing this together. And then you both got to escape. And now you're sitting here having a heart-to-heart, coming to terms with how things are. And it's a bond. You're forming a bond together. An actual friendship. Not that bullshit you tried to fake, but a real meaningful friendship. And those are hard as fuck to come by nowadays. Because people aren't honest. People are not honest. And I understand why people need to protect themselves. But I don't want to hear people complaining that you can't really find real people out there. Oh, they're out there. You just got to be willing to put yourself out there. And at that moment, Kaga notices some fucking flashlights off in the distance. And they believe that, oh shit, the cult is caught up, we need to move. So they run for a couple of seconds and then realize that something's weird about those people. And they're moving in a counterclockwise circle. And as they're watching, a person shows up behind them with a flashlight. And at that point, they're like, shit, the cultists found us. And they're wrong. Turns out it is none other than Linda. The chick who saved. And for some reason, she just keeps on saving his ass every time she gets a chance. She saved him during orientation day from the fucking club members. She saved him again from the club members. Now she's saving his ass from cultists. And that is where the episode ends. And for this one, I give it a 9. So it's already at a 9. Mostly because of that fucking cult experience. And the master manipulation that he pulled on them. And they're supposed to be master manipulators. He literally convinced them to let everyone else go, keep him, and then he escaped. From under their noses. Genius. So it's already at a 9. I'm trying to figure out which percentage of that 9 do I give it. How close to 10 do I think this episode should get? And just from the conversation that Kaga and Banri had while they were resting, I think I'm going to give it a 9.4. And I would have given it a 9.5 if she was genuine about the friendship. But her motives were purely selfish. And that is where I dock 0.1 points. Because here is someone who's trying to genuinely help you, and you used your own fucking feelings and false pretenses in order to con him into a friendship, and you basically almost got him inducted into a cult. You both almost got inducted to a cult. And all this man was trying to do was be your friend, and you used him. And I'm sure you felt so bad about using him that you could not just leave him to his own devices with that cult. You had to do something to at least atone. And that makes you a halfway decent human being. Because a lesser human being would have just left him to the wolves. He would have escaped. I guarantee he would have escaped. He would have made his move and escaped once he got the chance to figure something out. Upside, now you guys are friends, and you guys can bond over the fact that you escaped cults. A cult. You escaped cultists. Which is something not a lot of people can say. And with that, that's the end of our episode. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of the cult. What you thought of Bonri's master manipulation. Because that was that is nothing less than mastery in its finest form. To be able to manipulate an organization that is built on manipulation and misdirects. So let me know what you guys think of that. And we will catch you guys on the next episode where we will be reviewing episode 4. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace.
Gotta find my way to you.